This conference will now be recorded.
He wasn't on when I got there, but you'll hear him when he's on. Thanks, Beth.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, Joe.
How you doing?
Jerry.
Morning, Joe.
Good morning.
Hi, Joe, Carla, and Jennifer.
Woohoo! Hi, Carla and Jennifer.
Hi, Joe. It's Jerry.
Hi, good to see you, Jerry, or at least hear you.
You'll hear me.
Awesome. Sounds great. Let's see. I'm just looking at the clock. We're just about there, and looks like we've got a good group. I'm counting. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we're good for purposes of our thing. So I'll give it another minute before starting.
Oh, now maybe. I couldn't. Can you hear me, Joe?
Sure can, no problem.
All right, great. I got Jerry on. She's in the lobby there. She's on the phone. So she is on there. I don't know how to identify.
I'm on.
Okay, Jerry.
I hear you, Beth.
All right. We did it.
Yahoo.
Awesome. Well, we've got our quorum. So I will call our meeting to order for September of the Commission on Aging in Darien. First question for everybody is the minutes for July. Anybody have any questions, suggested changes, etc.?
Nope.
Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve the July minutes?
So moved.
Thank you very much, Peter. Jim, I saw a second. Thank you. We'll approve those July minutes as rendered. We'll turn over to Beth for the Mather Center report.
Okay. Hope everybody had a good summer. It's been busy summer here. Just to give you some updates and I know this is going to be on channel 79, so we can give a little bit of information to folks who may not know it's been going on. The drive-through lunch is thriving, doing really well, seeing between 30 and 45 people a day. We're still open to other people. Judy assuring me we could do as many as 80 a day if folks are interested. We're doing a full dinner with a dessert now, so it's a little bit more substantial, still with a $5 charge. And the menu is online for the week in advance because we're kind of ordering a week ahead of time on Monday. So you can call in for reservations Monday through Wednesday between 8:30 and 11:30. And again, pick which days you want the meal. You can do all 5 days if you want. You can do one day. We're very flexible that way. Stacy Johnson just came on board. She's our new program specialist. She has her MSW from Fordham. She's worked in various bio. I'll send you the bio so that you can read it so that I don't leave anything out. But her first task is going to be to set up a virtual senior center and to start doing weekly emails through Constant Contact to keep people apprised of what we're doing, what we're going to be doing, and the classes that we're going to offer via Zoom and other platforms, as well as some of the drive-through things we're going to do. Just looking ahead, October 21st, we are going to still have Oktoberfest. We're going to do it as a drive-through luncheon by reservations, and we're going to have an entertainer outside. Who's going to, hopefully the weather will be good, but he'll be under a tent. and I'm working on how I'm going to arrange the parking lot for that event. And we're going to still try to do our Thanksgiving luncheon November 18th as a drive-through. I have a wandering minstrel who's a hoot, who's going to be serenading everybody as they pick up their full Thanksgiving dinner. And that'll be by reservation too. So I'm looking forward to Stacy's, all of her expertise, but especially her savvy with the computer, that she's going to be able to reach out that way. In the meantime, we have been, I've been collecting names and phone numbers of folks for wellness checks, not for crisis intervention from the standpoint that people are in trouble. We're still sending those folks to Allie for sure. But for people that they just need a connection. So there's folks that are coming to the center to either outside or inside by the fireplace so that we can cheerlead and kind of keep people's spirits up and know that this is going to somehow or other, we're going to adapt to it. And then when it's over, it'll be over. But in the meantime, we're not going to do anything to lessen the connection or the availability for them to be part of our program. The idea right now is if there isn't a spike, and we're following the governor's regulations and CDC very closely, I'm actually working with the Department of Public Works and the Department of Public Health and our town administrator at setting the building up for protocol for incremental opening in November. If there's no spikes that preclude that, we don't want to open and close. So we're waiting to see what happens by the end of October. But the work is happening. We're doing our sanitization stations. We're doing our 6-foot distancing measures. We're looking at all the compliance code because as a senior center, because our population is the population that is most vulnerable, we have a little bit of a higher quality of how we have to check people in. So with that being said, it'll be by reservation. We'll only be using the first floor. We're not going to be using the second floor of the Mather Center for quite a while. It will only be open to no more than 25 people per hour. So it would have to be sanitized. We haven't come up with how that's going to look yet. We're working on that part of it. But because we have a handle on what the expectations are, that really helps us a great deal to do the planning that we're going to need to do. So all of that is being orchestrated and working very hard on all of that at this point. Just to let you know, the senior center directors in the 14-town area, which is Fairfield County, are so dynamic and wonderful. We meet with each other every week. So we are all trying to, whatever we do, we're trying to be on the same page because we think the regulation is going to be that we're only going to be able to have our own residents for contact tracing in the beginning. So if that is the case, if we're all saying the same thing, we don't want to offend anybody. I'm doing a fair amount of referral to, especially to Norwalk and Stamford. So we're also helping each other with Zooms and things. So there's going to be things that when that constant contact does come out, that you'll see that folks can join something in Westport, or they can join something in that's happening in Stamford. So we're working very collaboratively and all taking on the burden of each one's expense, but opening it to all of the residents in the 14-town area so people can, if there's a lecture somebody wants to hear, or an exercise program they want to participate in, we're not limiting it. So this is the way that we're trying to act in concert with one another, especially if we're going to have to do kind of that restriction or contact tracing for a period of time. So some of those are a little bit like kind of loose end things, just to let you know that, you know, once they're more formalized, if we're all on the same page, you know, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or make people feel that our members here that are from other towns, that we're restricting them for any other reason than this is compliance with what the CDC regulations are. So, and we're working on figuring out all the instructors that are willing to come back through Zoom or through this platform of Go Meet. And also we have a little modality on our myseniorcenter.com too, that we're going to be able to meet with folks by the phone. So that's why I'm garnering numbers and names of folks that have no technology other than a telephone. And believe it or not, there are folks that don't even have iPhones. So these little programs I'm talking about now can be done through a regular dial phone. So that maybe we'll be able to have, groups of 5 or 6 people that we run a little program with, or have them socialize over the phone too. So I'm working on that as well. We also, between Stacy and I, want to have at least one day a week that one of us does coffee and conversation. So people can call in, see us directly, meet Stacy, talk to me, so that we can do just like a little informal forum before we start presenting classes ourselves, because there's things that we have in mind that we would like to do. And this way it's a direct connection to us as well. So that's kind of where we're at. A lot is happening. We're trying to get a lot of established. We do have, just so that you can see it, this is Reopen Connecticut. This is the senior center document that is 38 pages long that I take to bed at night, because we really have to make sure that we're complying to the letter, because you have to remember, for us, if something happens to somebody here, it's going to be devastating to us. I've got to keep the staff safe as well as our folks safe. And again, if there's a little percentage, if there are any positives here, we get shut down, even with like one positive. So we want to be as careful as we possibly can. There are people stopping by now, and I just want to share this with you. One gal yesterday came by in her car who is a younger senior, who said, at least for me, I can still go shopping, I can drive around, I can take a ride, I can socially distance with my friends, but this place is my heart, and I can't be with it. I'm gonna probably start crying again, because she got hysterical, I got hysterical, but there are folks that, if we didn't know how much we meant to them before, there are folks that are expressing that on a regular basis to us. So I want you to know that we are really, really intensely trying to meet any kind of psychosocial needs that we can meet on a, giving a positive, as much positive juice as we possibly can get out there, so that people feel that this will have, it's going to subside and we're going to be back on some level, but we have to do this with great caution at this point. So I think that's it. If anybody, I will tell people to kind of look out for those constant contacts. If you're listening to me and you don't usually have your email address, please call. The staff is here Monday through Friday. We're not closed on Fridays. We're here from 9 to 3. If you want us to check to make sure your email is accurate, for those of you who want to receive things, the constant contact, in case we don't have the right address. And if you're concerned, we'll certainly check it out. And the other thing is we are going to be printing a monthly newsletter, again, that will have a lot of information in it. And we will mail out to Darien residents who don't have technology. So all they have to do is tell us they don't have it, and we'll mail it out to them as well. So we wanted to make that available again. And we will take suggestions for programs, and the best suggestions will always come from the people that utilize the center. So if anybody has a suggestion and wants to run it by Stacy and I, we're very, very happy to listen and excited to get your input. So.
You might tell us the phone number right now, Beth.
Oh yeah, there you go. Thank you, Peter. We're 203-656-7490. That's our main number. And the voicemail is always on, and I always listen to the voicemail. So if you think about it after 3 o'clock, or God forbid you're up at 1 o'clock in the morning, but if you are, you can go on the voicemail at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I will be happy to listen to you at 7. And we will get back to everyone. That's one of the other nice things. Everyone who I have called back, usually I try to call back within the day or the next day, depending on how many calls come in. People are just thrilled to talk. So sometimes the question, there isn't even a question. It's like, are you there breathing? So just, I don't care why you call. If you just want to talk, I've got chat time. We can definitely do that. I miss everyone so much. I miss the busyness of this center. We can't wait for everyone to be able to come back. And so we're going to do whatever we can to make all of us feel connected and feel invigorated and feel positive, because we got to put that positive energy out there.
Thank you, Beth. Anybody have questions for Beth? Hearing none, thanks so much. Now, my next question is Allie with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, caller number 4 is what you're showing up on our screen. So go ahead, Allie.
I was even asking Karen Dunn. I've done so many of these go-to meetings. It's not working. I don't know why, but I'm here.
Great.
So sorry about that. Yeah.
No worries.
So I'm good. How are you guys? I don't know who's on here, but anyway. So Human Services report. The renters rebate program is coming to an end on September 30th. Diane Barson has submitted 38 applications so far, with a total of $21,701.78 expected in grants to our residents. So that's great. And I'm anticipating can you hear me? Oh, hello?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
Allie. You're doing great.
Okay, sorry. We're anticipating that next year we'll have more now that the Royal has added an additional around 40 residents. Not all of them necessarily will be eligible. It depends on their income, but I'm sure that there will be quite a few that will be. So we shall see with that. We started our energy assistance accepting energy assistance applications on Monday for oil heated homes. And then we'll start accepting utility heated homes, gas or electric, on October 13th. We're doing what we have to do to make this work. For the seniors, I will, if necessary, go to their home to do the application. I'll stay outside, wear my mask, of course, and we'll make it work. Otherwise, people can come to us. We stay outside and coordinate getting their papers and signatures and whatnot. Just so you have an idea, a one-person household can have a maximum annual income of $37,645 to be eligible for the program. And they can have a $15,000 liquid asset amount for homeowners or $12,000 for renters. What else? Oh, Operation Fuel started their summer program. That can help residents with up to $700 once every 12 months towards their utility or heating bills. There's income restrictions here as well, but the income limit is higher and there's no asset limit. So a lot of our seniors in particular who have assets are eligible for this, but not energy assistance. So that's a good option for them. I won't steal your thunder, Joe, but all of the former Old Town Hall home residents have moved back into town, into the Royal, and all 15 that we've spoken to are very happy with their new apartments and thrilled to be back. I actually emailed housing to Crystal yesterday just to check so I could give you an update if they're still accepting names for the wait list or if they still have any openings in the top tier, the 60% income. I have not heard back, but I will email the group when I do hear, just so you can spread the word if they are still taking names for the wait list. And just on a side note, one resident that we knew, she was on the wait list for the lowest tier, the 25% income, and was told it would be about a year, and she got in. So she's thrilled. So she's moving at the end of September. So I wanted to get a better sense of how the wait list looks, and I will share that with you guys, if not, at the next meeting, if not sooner. Another thing that we advertised a few weeks ago was about our emergency call list, because with the storm in August, obviously there was a tremendous amount of power outages in town, and we can only help residents if we know that if we know they're out there and need help. So we were trying to spread the word, via social media and the papers and whatnot, to please, if there's a vulnerable senior or someone who lives alone, who's concerned about their safety and well-being, please have them, or if it's a neighbor, anyone, reach out to us, because we can only help if we're aware of a need. What else? One other thing is September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and now more than ever, we're concerned about people's mental health because of how COVID-19 has disrupted everyone's lives between social distancing, economic challenges. So just wanted to also put out there that we in Human Services are available for support and referrals. And of course, there's also something called the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 800-273-TALK, which is 8255. That's 24/7. People can reach out, and all of this is anonymous. So just wanted to put that out there as well. And that's about it.
Great.
Joe, I want to add something for Ally. One thing that I forgot first is that we are working on a flu shot clinic with a public health department specifically for seniors. I was hoping to have the date today, but I didn't get it last night. But it will probably be in the town hall gymnasium because I think it's the most efficient way that we're going to be able to do the social distancing and the spacing, but more to follow. So everybody check about that. You're going to be able to hear about it soon. And just that my 10-year limitation term of the SWACA advisory board is ended. And I'm very happy that Ally is going to be representing Darien for the future. She might do a 10-year, where it's up every 2 years, she might do a whole 10 years too, but very happy as our wonderful municipal agent that we will be represented more than capably and ably by Ally. So I just wanted to let everybody know that. And thanks, Ally, for accepting.
Thanks, Beth. Thanks, Ally. Any other questions or comments for Ally? Hearing none, thank you. And this will actually be a good transition into Ally and I, as well as several other folks, including our first selectman and Kate, went to the Royal and had a wonderful tour. Interestingly enough, we went there and the person who was supposed to meet us didn't show up, but the residents who were so amazing actually said, well, why don't, one of them said, come tour my place. And so it was really remarkable because it was actually a better tour than I would have expected for no other reason than it was completely honest, right? In other words, they're normally in a tour, you're going to be shown, oh, the best parts of this and no issues whatsoever. And in fact, we got in there, we saw that a lot of, things for COVID reasons are closed. For example, the computer room is closed. The exercise room is closed. For obvious reasons, these are closed in a senior facility. But nevertheless, to tour this gentleman's unit was fantastic. Not everything is perfect. He had some issues going on there, which of course have to be addressed in any new facility. But it was bright, it was airy, it was large. He had his own patio. And interestingly enough, he shared his patio with an adjacent unit. And he went out to Walmart and bought himself 3 little plants to create his own little borderline on the patio so that, if he gets along wonderfully with his neighbor, then fine. If not, those pots will stay there potentially forever. It was great stuff. But it was really, really wonderful to see the unit, to see the building looking so good. We saw the landscaping going on outside, which is fantastic. And most importantly, that the fact that this is self-contained. That is, when the winter comes, unlike the old town hall homes where residents had to walk up steps outside to get to some of their units, everything is self-contained. You walk into an entrance, you have a working, wonderful elevator, the brand new elevators, which I think, Beth, you'd like, but nevertheless. But I immediately thought of the Mather Center's elevator. I was riding that thing. I'm going, oh, this would be nice, but nevertheless, we'll take what we can get. But in any event, it's just a wonderful facility. They've done a fantastic job. Obviously, some what I guess tick items that need to be addressed in some of the seniors' units. But this guy was just thrilled to be there. He had the U.S. Open tennis going on his TV, and it was great stuff. I mean, it was really showing how important this kind of thing is for our community and for our seniors. That these people are in a wonderful place, brand new, and it seems like it's working out really, really well. And Ally, I'll turn it over to you for further comments.
No, I was thrilled also. I think it was, like you said, it was actually better to get a real live view of an apartment as opposed to the staged one. And he was very gracious, of course, to let 5 visitors in unannounced. I was so impressed. I did not expect it to be that large and that gorgeous. I was just thoroughly impressed. So for the record, the person we were supposed to meet did respond back to me and apologized, profusely that he thought it was the following week. But anyway. Yeah, so everyone is thrilled. Even people who aren't always, so don't have such a positive outlook are so happy. So we're just ecstatic for them. And I did reach out to Crystal as well to try to see if it's possible. I'm not sure because of confidentiality, if they could give us a list of all the residents or at least the apartment numbers so we can kind of proactively reach out to the new residents as well. Yeah, I think it looks amazing.
Yeah, so kudos to the town and all those folks who are involved in this, because to get that many units, as you'll recall, we were looking to get units on Edgerton Street to replace where the old senior center was. That didn't happen for a variety of reasons, including the Board of Ed's grubby little paws, which are never going to get off of that property until we can take them away from it. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So to be able to get those units on the post road, and quite frankly, a walking distance for our younger seniors to the Goodwife Center, shopping center for groceries, walking distance down to some of the restaurants down by the train station. I mean, it's just wonderful that we were able to get this done, and especially, quite frankly, in a very fast fashion. I mean, it's amazing to see a place which you drove by 6 months ago with a hole in the ground, with people living in a place. I mean, they did a fantastic job in putting that up in a remarkably fast way.
Especially under the current circumstances, right? I mean, the challenges that they must have faced. I mean, it really was about 2 years, because the residents started moving out 2 years ago. So anyway, impressive.
Good stuff. Anybody have any questions for me or Allie relating to the tour?
Remind us, Allie, how many units there are?
55, and there were 15 people who returned, so that's 40 new residents. And I think there's two bedrooms, if I'm not 100% positive, so that would make it up to what, potentially 57 people.
Great. And so, in any event, all good stuff. So, as part of old business, I know I always turn it over to Gina or Peter. Gina, do you have a report for us on what's going on at Home in Darien?
Yeah, hi, can you hear me okay?
Sure can.
Okay, good. And I'm sorry that you can't see me. I do not have a computer in my office with a monitor. So, I mean, with a camera. So at Home in Darien is continuing to provide essential services to meet those people most at risk during the pandemic. We're a source of assistance to seniors and their loved ones. We're providing essential transportation, grocery shopping, pickup and delivery of prescriptions, telephone contact. We're giving advice, referrals, and customized assistance as needed. We're really trying to respond to whatever people need and adapting so that we can provide services to them. Of interest this week in mailboxes, or maybe next week, depending on the timing, you will receive, thank you, Peter, for lifting it up there, our next issue of Out and About. It's one of those fun issues that we profile people, and so we are telling lots of stories about people who are connected to us throughout the pandemic, so that you find some stories about who we're helping and the impact that we're making in people's lives.
And it goes to every mailbox in town, so which is important. So it really spreads the word town-wise.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you, Gina.
Thank you.
Peter, any updates state legislature-wise?
Yeah, I'm having some trouble with sound breaking in and out, so I'm just going to talk, Joe, and assuming folks can hear me. The legislature is...
Can I interrupt? If people will mute, except for Peter, it'll work much better and your focus won't keep going in and out. If you just mute.
Okay. We're still expecting the legislature to meet. It's kind of late in September already. But there's, again, 3 things that AARP is pushing, and the one I just want to focus on is nursing home and assisted living. We've made it very, very clear to all the legislators and to the governor there's 4 things that we need. We need to require nursing homes to adopt appropriate visitation standards for both indoor and outdoor visits, and to hold nursing owners and their managers accountable when those visitation standards are not upheld. That's number 1. We need to allow nursing home residents to install cameras in their rooms as a way to stay better connected to friends and family. And again, remember, this is state law already in 13 states across the country. 3rd, to increase staffing at nursing homes so that residents receive adequate care and the staff are not overworked. And the fourth is to end the civil immunity for nursing homes. So those are the 4 key items. The other 2 items are the utilities updates, the electrical rates that we've had, and how we're going to deal with that and see how we might be able to roll them back. The second point is focusing on getting out the ballot, turning out the vote. So important. State law passed a bill in July that makes COVID-19 a valid reason for requesting an absentee ballot. So all registered voters can complete the application and mail it to their town clerk, and then they will receive an absentee ballot. And the state will be mailing information to all residents. So again, so important. Ballot boxes will be available at the town clerk's office or tamper-proof boxes set up in the town. And again, we'll get more information from the town of Darien. But the whole point is you'll be able to vote in person. Yesterday, I spoke to our office of voter registration. We have enough volunteers now, so everything is covered. So I don't have to come and say, look, we need some volunteers. It looks like we're pretty much set. So we'll be able to do the in-person ballot again with all of the rules and regulations in place. So again, I think it'll be fairly easy. So what we've really got to do is generate the enthusiasm for people to come out or to mail in and vote. So that's important. A couple of other things.
Peter, is apparently you've frozen, just so you're aware, on our screen. Is anybody else having that same problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we'll turn back to Peter if his screen unfreezes. We gotta love technology. Everything doesn't work perfectly, that's for sure. And so okay, we're hearing clinking and everything else. And then Peter's unfrozen. I'm going to go back to Peter. Peter, if you unmute yourself, see what happens.
Joe, while we're waiting for Peter, it's Gina again. I just wanted to share, to piggyback on what Peter was saying. I'm sending out a blog this week about how to do your absentee ballots. The drop-off box is outside town hall in the front hall, and some instructions on how to do that, because we think there will be a lot of confusion because it's new. And if it's great that the polls will be staffed, but if people do not want to have to wear their masks, socially distance when they go to the polls, this is a safe alternative to do an absentee ballot, and we're going to distribute that information. And I would encourage everybody to share it if they, read it, want to, think it can be passed along to help others.
Appreciate that, Gina. That's really, really helpful. And for purposes of Peter, if he can still hear, one of the things
Joe, I'm on the phone now, Joe. So I'm going to use the phone. I'm going to use my phone connection. So I don't know how much you heard or not. I'm going to leave the computer. But the last item was introducing Kira Parrott, the new director of the library. Can you still hear me?
Yep. You might want to hang up your other one because it sounds like you're coming in from 2 different places.
I did, Joe. I just hung it up.
Brilliant. Go for it. Keep talking.
So, did you hear what I said about the new library director?
Go ahead and repeat it, just because it kept coming in and out.
Okay, so our new director of library is in place. It's Kira Parrott. You can read her bio on the Darien Library site. She's returning to the library actually because she headed up the children's section for a number of years. And tomorrow, Thursday, if you have a chance, come by the courtyard of the library. You'll meet her in person. She's going to be delivering some remarks. And I believe there's going to be a shaved ice truck there, although we might need hot chocolate tomorrow if we look at the temperature these days. And there's one other thing that I'd like to mention, and that is, this is not my technology. This is not my technology day, that's for sure. There's one other thing I'd like to mention. Am I still with you?
Sure are. Keep going.
Okay, I saw yesterday the University of Michigan, the National Poll on Healthy Aging, loneliness among older adults before and during the COVID-19 pandemic. So this is a study they've been doing ongoing. It's really worth getting your hands on. It's at www.healthyagingpoll.org. I'll give you a highlight number. In October 2018, 27% of the people surveyed said they felt isolated from others. This is, by the way, adults 50 to 80. In June, it was 56%. So it went from 27% to 56%. Have infrequent social contact. In 2018, the fall of 2018, it was 28%. It climbed to 46% in the latest survey. Take a look at the numbers. It really underscores the isolation and loneliness factor. And again, all of the things we really need to do to help those folks that are in their home or getting ready to come out of their homes. That's it, Joe.
Thank you, Peter. One thing for your legislature folks in the AARP, they're not a senior issue, but this call has proven it, which is that I saw a study in which Connecticut actually has the second worst results from COVID on internet connectivity. And that is whether it's due to Optimum or somebody else, or what we think is happening is all of these New Yorkers have come into Connecticut and they're using internet. And as a result, for their daily work, our Connecticut internet has slowed down significantly in comparison to other states which have been built out. So I'm not sure there's much the legislature can do about that, but the reality is the technology issues that we all face with slowed internet and other things is a direct result of COVID and how many people are in fact logging on to phone calls like this on a daily basis and slowing down the whole process.
That's a great observation, Joe, and you're absolutely right. Yesterday evening from 7 to 9, I used the same technology for a Zoom meeting, and it worked completely well. So.
And there you have it. And so the reality is for all of us is that it's a very challenging situation with COVID and including with the internet. As you'll note, I'm at my office and I'm here 5 days a week anyway, but the reality is I wouldn't be doing this at home because my wife is on Citibank with all of her 4 monitors at home doing all of her work. So good luck with me being able to get a good solid internet connection.
Know the feeling.
I hear you. Any other old business? Any new business? Hearing none. Thank you all for coming. Can I have a motion to adjourn the September meeting of the Commission on Aging?
I'll make a motion, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. Second?
Carla, second.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful month, and we will probably, based upon what we're seeing here, do this wonderful video chat once again in October, but maybe we'll target November depending on what's going on with the Mather Center and whether it's open. Great. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.